Number of solutions to equations notes. The learning goal is to identify and give examples of equations with one solution, infinitely many solutions, or no solutions. So try to solve the following three equations. So I'm going to isolate the 3x by moving the 6 constant to the other side, which is equal to 3x equals to 21. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 3. Therefore, x is equal to 7. Let's do question 2. I'm going to collect my like terms. Here I have x and 3x, and then I will isolate the term with the x by grouping them on one side. So 4x minus 2 is equal to 4x minus 2. So now I'm going to try to put the term with the x's on one side. So I'll subtract 4x from both sides, which will give me negative 2 is equal to negative 2. So this isn't something we have perhaps seen just yet. So we don't have a value of x is equal to something. When we were trying to solve this equation, we have removed and completely eliminated the term with the x value in it. Even if we were going to erase, let's say I didn't subtract 4x first, but instead decided to eliminate the constant. So I have to add 2 to this side and add 2 to the other side, which would then give me 4x is equal to 4x. Then I'm going to further isolate the x by dividing both, by dividing both sides by 4. Therefore, you would get x is equal to x. Again, we don't have a specific value for x. So we're going to cover this and go over what does that mean. Let's see and try to solve question 3. 5 minus 3 is 2x plus 4. So I'm going to group my the term with the x's on the left side. Subtract 2x, subtract 2x. And you can probably notice we're going to eliminate the x's again. So we have 7 is equal to 4, as these have been eliminated. So if we examine all the 3 different solutions here, we have x is equal to 7, a specific number. Here we have x is equal to x. And then question 3 we don't have any terms with an x value, but we have a number is equal to a number. And we all know that 7 does not equal 4. So what does that mean? So we're going to cover what does it mean to try to solve an equation and what happens if our answers look a bit different. So when we're solving equations, we are trying to find the value of the variable that makes the equation true. Equations can have one solution. It can also have infinitely many solutions or no solution. So let's examine what each of these 3 things mean. So far, we probably have covered one solution, and you know what that means. But what does infinitely many and no solution mean? So equations with one solution, so the value of x is one specific number. So only one value for x will make the equation true. There's only one specific value for x that you can calculate. So some examples are x is equal to negative 7. We know exactly what x is equal to. Another example is x is equal to 2 over 3. And pretty much any number, x is equal to negative 4, negative 5, and so forth. Now, equations with infinitely many solutions, you'll end up with a is equal to a. any value for x will make the equation true. What that means is if x was 2, then x would be 2. If x was 3, it would be 3 on the other side. Once the equation is simplified, the variable or number will equal itself. So if you notice, a is equal to a is equal itself. X is equal to x is equal to itself. Other examples are 3 is equal to 3. Basically, any number is equal to itself. So there are infinitely many solutions because you can give x any value and it will always equal itself. Equations with no solutions. So you will get a is equal to b, where a and b are different numbers. So there is no value for x that will make the equation true. Once the equation is simplified, the equation will have a false statement. So 6 is equal to 4 is not a true statement. It does not make the equation true. We know that 6 does not equal 4. Other examples, basically, as long as you have a number on the left side that's different from the number on the right side, and you don't have terms with an x value because the x's have been eliminated. So we have -4 is equal to 8, or 4 over 5, any fraction, is equal to -9. So let's try to do an example. So state whether the equations have one solution, infinitely many solutions, or no solutions. So let's look at example 1. We're going to solve for x as best as we can, and then see, based on the simplified equation, the number of solutions it has. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of the parentheses by applying the distributive property. So 4 times 2x is 8x. 4 times 1 is plus 4, which is equal to, I can actually group my x terms here together. So 3x plus 5x is 8x plus 4. So I can see that my left side equals exactly to my right side. The coefficients of x are the same and the constant is the same as well. But I'm just going to continue on. So I'm going to eliminate the x value from both sides, which will give me 4 is equal to 4. So here I have, ultimately, a number is equal a number, or itself. Therefore, a is equal to a, which means that it is, or it has, an infinite number of solutions. You can also say it has infinitely many solutions. Let's look at example 2. I'm going to first group my 3x and the 4x, which is 7x plus 15 is equal to 7x minus 14. So now I'm going to subtract, or try to combine my x's, but you can probably already tell there you will be removed, and we're just going to have the constants. So it's 15 is equal to -14. This is a false statement. It is not true that 15 is the same as -14. Therefore, this has no solution. Or this equation has no solutions. So this is an example where we have a is equal to b, where a and b are two different numbers. Now let's look at example 3. I'm going to solve the equation and then see how many solutions there are. So I'm going to apply the distributive property on both sides. So half times 2x is 1x plus 2 is equal to 3x minus 3 times -2 is -6. I'm going to group my x's on one side to the right, which gives me 2 is equal to 2x minus 6. Eliminate and remove the constant on the right side. The same on the left side. Therefore, 2 plus 6 is 8 is equal to 2x. Divide this by 2, divide this by 2. Therefore, x is equal to 4. So because we have a specific one number that x is equal to, that means that it has one solution, or the equation has one solution. So x is one specific value. X is equal to a.